What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Sports Talk Buffalo. We are now a week past the NHL draft and multiple days into free agency. The one thing that we all thought as Buffalo Sabres fans would happen has not happened yet. And of course, you know I'm talking about the trade of star center Jack Eichel. Now, it surprised a lot of people that he has not been traded yet, and people, fans especially, believed that GM Kevin Adams may panic, may lower the price, and then the Buffalo Sabres would get absolutely fleeced in this deal. However, I want you to listen to the comments that Kevin Adams made earlier in an interview about the Jack Eichel trade situation.
There's no change in the medical side. We're in the same spot we were as the last time I talked to you. We're continuing to have a lot of conversations with teams, and you know, we're open on all our players, as I've said over and over again, and Jack in particular. The phone rings, we have conversations, but I think what's critically important to make sure is clear is that we're in control of this process. We have a player under contract. We don't feel any pressure. If there's a deal out there that we feel is the right thing for the Buffalo Sabres, it's going to help us improve, whether that's improve right away or improve down the road. Those are all the things we weigh. We'd be open to it, but we're not in a position where we feel that we're just going to do something to do it. That doesn't make any sense. So, but those conversations are continuing to go.
That is something, as a Buffalo Sabres fan, you love to hear. That means that the front office for the Buffalo Sabres is not panicking at all. They know that there is plenty of time to get the right deal for somebody the caliber of Jack Eichel. Without question, a fantastic answer, and something that I absolutely love to hear. Kevin Adams must play hardball with Jack Eichel and the Jack Eichel camp and all of the GMs around the NHL. And why do I say that? Because you cannot get lowballed again for a franchise-changing center. He is a top 10 or a top 15 player in the entire league, and to get lowballed on somebody like Jack Eichel could potentially set your franchise back even further. Yes, I know that they are already the bottom of the NHL, but set them back even further than they already are. This trade should hopefully set the Sabres up for multiple years of success by adding in very key pieces that are going to be here for a long time in Buffalo. Now, I keep reading all around Twitter and whatnot and online that the Buffalo Sabres, they have no leverage. They have no leverage. Jack Eichel's, he wants out of Buffalo. His no trade clause kicks in a year. Who fucking cares? Who cares? That is the stupidest fucking thing on the planet, in my opinion. If Jack Eichel wants out of Buffalo as bad as everyone is making it seem, that he does not want anything to do with the Buffalo Sabres, why would he not fucking waive his no movement clause? It doesn't make sense. The Sabres have all the leverage. You have to be willing to play hardball with Jack Eichel and his camp, along with the other GMs. You have to be willing for Jack Eichel to sit out and eat $10 million a year. And if this thing somehow goes another 5 years down the line, then yes, you lower the trade cost of Jack Eichel, and guess what? You get what you get for him before you're able, before your contract runs out. However, the Sabres have all the leverage. To say they don't have any leverage is fucking stupid, and it doesn't seem like you understand the situation. Again, the Sabres must be willing to let Jack Eichel sit on the bench, not even on the bench, sit in the stands in order to be able to make this happen. Again, if Jack Eichel does not want to play for the Buffalo Sabres, fine. That's not a big deal. However, you cannot rush a trade with somebody of this caliber. You have to make sure you get the right deal, and you get the right deal for the Buffalo Sabres. It doesn't matter about what anybody else thinks the right deal is for them. You have to get the right deal for you. Are the Sabres overvaluing Jack Eichel? Potentially. They are potentially overvaluing Jack Eichel. However, again, if he doesn't want to play in Buffalo that bad, he does not like what's going on in Buffalo that much, why? Why would he give up 5 years of his career sitting in the stands to not waive his no-trade clause? Why would he have to be here for 5 more years? He wouldn't. He would waive his no-trade clause, and the Buffalo Sabres would be able to trade him anyway. So to say the Sabres have no leverage is pure bullshit. I had to say that before I went any further because I am so tired of hearing that. The Sabres just have to have a set of nuts on them so that they can actually play hardball for once and not let the player dictate what is going to happen in this situation. This franchise is run by Kevin Adams. He has to dictate, and he sounds a lot like he has everything well in hand, and that is something I absolutely love to hear. Now, with that, I did come up with 3 more teams that were rumored to be in potentially on the Jack Eichel trade saga. I did a video before of 3 potential landing spots for Jack Eichel. These are 3 more potential landing spots for Jack Eichel. The first one being Anaheim. Of course, Anaheim's been thrown all around the Buffalo Sabres, and they're in, they're out. They're in, they're out. I'm going to leave them in for right now. And for Jack Eichel, the starting point is Trevor Zegras. If Anaheim says he is off limits, you hang the phone up. You don't even entertain the trade because Trevor Zegras is the main piece in this trade that must come back. Fuck the first round pick. Fuck the roster player. Zegras must be the player that comes back to start. The next piece that the Sabres have to get, or I would like the Sabres to see if they did a trade with Anaheim, is a first round pick, obviously. And I would want them to trade for right wing Rickard Reichel. Yes, it's to Sabres fans, it seems like a little bit of a light trade. However, you get a top 6 forward in Reichel, who has been a 51-point player per 82 games over the course of his career. So you're getting a good player, a good right winger. You are also getting Anaheim's top prospect, essentially, in Trevor Zegras, and you're getting a first-round draft pick. You are looking for quality over quantity with the Jack Eichel trade. That provides plenty of quality to bring back to the Buffalo Sabres. The next team that I want to talk about here has been rumored to be interested in Jack Eichel and had talks with the Buffalo Sabres is Montreal. Now, for Jack Eichel, the Sabres would get back budding center Nick Suzuki, a first-round pick, and defensive prospect Caden Gooley. Again, this is only 3 pieces. I understand that. But again, quality over quantity. Suzuki could play and contribute right away for the Buffalo Sabres. He had a fantastic playoffs, helped lead that team to the Stanley Cup final. They also get a first-round draft pick and defensive prospect, Caden Gooley, who is a few years away from the NHL. So you still get a very good player who can come in right away, a very good player that can come in right away. You get a first-round draft pick that you could potentially move or use at a later date, and you get another prospect to put in the prospect pool and grow along with all of the other prospects that are coming in to the Buffalo Sabres organization. And the last team that has been rumored for the Buffalo Sabres is the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, in exchange for Jack Eichel, I said that they should get a first-round draft pick, right wing Alex Tuch in this. Also, prospect Peyton Krebs, who is a young prospect, a young guy right now. He's coming off of an ACL tear or an MCL tear, something like that. I read a few years ago, they said he may have been a top 10 pick if not for that injury. Also, they have to throw in another piece in defenseman Nicholas Hag. I said that they had to throw in a fourth piece, did the Vegas Golden Knights, simply because Krebs is not as good of a prospect as is Trevor Zegras. And Krebs is also likely at least a year or two away from being able to contribute in the NHL. Now, whether or not Krebs is going to be as good as Nick Suzuki, I don't know. Again, Zegras and Suzuki will both be able to come right away to the Sabres organization and be able to contribute. However, Krebs would not be able to do that, so they have to throw in another piece, a young player, in order to sweeten the pot up a little bit to go to the Vegas Golden Knights. Those are my three trade scenarios. That is my thoughts on the Jack Eichel trades, the Jack Eichel saga that is going on right now. Again, thank you guys for listening. Remember, hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell so you guys never miss a video. If you liked what you heard, give me a good old thumbs up so that more people can view this, so that we can get this podcast or this video, this YouTube page out to as many ears and eyes as possible. Thank you guys for listening. Have a fantastic week.